You remember we started by talking about Starbucks and the mistakes they made, and we don't know what the mistakes are yet, do we? Here's another game we can play, and this is based on a part of my own professional experience in the restaurant industry. This is the history of a business that has been doing mostly quite well. You can see at the top left there, it's grown to 250 restaurants, and the average restaurant is selling about 1,000 meals a week. It's come down from its peak of about 1,500. And by the way, at 1,500, these restaurants would be really, really busy. They'd be selling 3 meals on a Saturday night. So no sooner have you had your dessert than they throw the bill at you. The quality of the customer experience was absolutely brilliant, kind of back here somewhere, but it's now got a bit kind of dodgy. And because of that fall in sales, not kind of making up for the growth in restaurants, the profit growth has slowed. They're still growing, but it's slowed. But headquarters still wants more profits. There is a finite market here. We don't know what it is. It's something more than 250, but we don't know where. This is one of those diagrams for that restaurant business. So everything above here is the average restaurant. You've got customers. We don't actually know the customer number. We've got a reputation for value. We've got how appealing is the menu? Is it a nice menu? Is it constantly being updated with interesting new things? Is there something on there for the kids? Is there something on there for granny? Is there something on there for vegetarians? The environment standard, you remember that thing about the assets getting worse and worse? Well, the same happens to chairs and tables in a restaurant. If you don't maintain them or replace them, they get worse. So the environment standard's getting a bit dodgy. One on these indicators is good. Above one is, ooh, that's surprisingly good. Service quality, 85%. So customers not very happy about service, not very happy about the environment, and really not very happy at all about value for money, because that reflects all those things compared with the price. So we're charging a lot for what the customers don't think is very good. And our levers are the things in red. How much are we going to spend on labour? How much are we going to spend on maintenance? How much are we going to spend on marketing? What price are we going to set? And how much are we going to spend on improving the menu? So if you don't think the menu is very good, spend more on it, basically. Get more people in the research kitchen concocting new things for people to eat. That's how you control the performance of the average restaurant. How you control the size of the business is down here. You spend capital money to open new restaurants. If the restaurants are not very profitable, head office makes you close them. But we're spending 28 million opening about 29 restaurants a quarter. So we're not up at Starbucks level, opening 40 a week, but we're opening, what are we opening there? About 2 a week, which is quite a lot for a modest restaurant business. There's the revenue coming from the meals you sell. There are the costs coming from all this stuff you decide over there. Profit multiplied by restaurants gives you company profit when you take the fixed costs off, and head office either gives you a bonus if you're doing well, or they tell you they're not very happy with you if you don't do very well. You've got to pull those red levers, and we want you to keep those restaurants growing. We want to fix the meals per restaurant. We want to improve the quality of customer experience and therefore grow the profits. Have you got as far as this, opening the file, hitting the limit? When you open that, you should be able to see on the reports menu the resource map down there, and that's the diagram. The graphs we were looking at, business growth, there's the meal served chart, there's the company profit situation, there's the meal served per restaurant, and there's graphs on what's happening to customer reported quality. There's the overall quality chart, which is up there. Now, what's wrong here? Why is this business not doing so well? Sales per restaurant are going down, and why is that? Because the quality's got worse. And in particular, we've got this problem with value for money. People think we're charging too much for not a good enough product. But we're still opening restaurants. We're still very profitable. We're still making 20% return on capital. You know, this is pretty good. So we're still going well. So how are we going to fix this? What are we going to change here to fix this? Suggestions? Do something about the quality. Which quality things are we going to change? Service quality isn't very good, which basically means we haven't got enough staff. So here's our decisions. What are we going to change on the decisions? We're going to increase the fraction of revenue we spend on labour. Yeah? we're spending 3% of revenue on marketing. If we cut that in order to save money to spend more on labour, what might happen? You'd lose, this number of customers is only as high as it is because we have been spending marketing. If we cut the marketing, we risk customers leaving us even faster. So we're probably stuck with that. Maintenance, what do you think? Yeah. The environment standard is pretty poor. Because everything is broken, you've got to get out there and fix it all. So it's not 5 or 6. You've got to put that up to about 7 or 8. Double the maintenance budget. Menu's okay. Now, if you do all that, what's going to happen to the profits of this business? They're going to go down because whatever you were making, you were making, on the summary report over here, you were making basically you're making 20% operating margin. So for every pound you took, you were making 20 pence in profit. You've just decided to spend 2 more on labour and 3 or 4 more on maintenance. So your 20% return on sales is going to go down to about 13. So your profits, your company profits, which were 33, are going to do what? They're going to tank. They're going to really tank. And what's head office going to think about that? You are going to be fired. They think, yeah. Well, you might not be fired. And one of the things I learned from a very clever CEO I worked with once long ago is when you take a new job, what you do is you walk in and you say, cool, this is a bit of a mess, isn't it? Don't fancy this. Oh no, God, look at that service quality, this is awful. And the price, customers really are fed up here. And look at the state of the restaurants. I'll take the job, but hey, you've got to give me some time to fix this. Short term is going to be bad. I can't promise you 20 million next year. I'll do my best, right? But I can't promise you 20 million. So what's head office going to say? They're going to give you some time. They're going to give you some time, but then you've got to deliver. All right. So those decisions you just decided to take will make head office very angry, but not angry enough to fire you. Right. So why don't you implement those decisions, including this one down here, the amount of capital you're spending, 27 million. You should be able to spend that again. So just take those decisions, just that one quarter. Just hit the run button up in the top left corner. You've probably got some message like this, which says, company profit fell short of your target. This performance is really not good enough. Do something about it. If you want to know how cross they are, there's a chart here called the danger of being fired. Under targets and capital, there's a danger of being fired. When that hits 1, you're fired. Okay? You nearly halved the profits here. You really nearly killed it. And this is an orange warning sign on the, right? That was green before. So you've made head office really pretty cross. And they're not going to give you 27 million anymore. They're only going to give you 20. So now you should keep taking the money. You should keep opening restaurants because that helps drive profit growth. So change your capital expenditure to 20 million. Just make sure you get the right number of zeros there. And now you've got to start closing this gap, right? This is the gap between what head office think you should be doing and what you're actually doing. Now you've got to close that gap. But look, you've made a big difference to the standard of the environment. You've spent a quarter, you've spent 3 months really fixing those restaurants. Okay, so maybe you can just slow down on that a bit. Maybe that 8% on maintenance or 7, you can pull that back by 1. And service quality is up over 1 now. So maybe you can cope with labour at 17, not 18. Just try pulling 1 off each of those. So try pulling that back to 17% and the maintenance back to 7. Last quarter you could have tried cutting the price, but then you'd have decimated profits even more and you'd be even more in trouble. So let's see. Yeah, head office has got just a little bit crosser again. You know, they're still getting crosser and crosser. So just do the same again. You know, service quality is down at 92% again. So we've got a bit of a problem. Put the maintenance maybe down to 6 and the labour back up to 18 again. All right, and maybe, you know, I don't know exactly what you've done, but you might be okay. What's happening to the meals served per restaurant? No, we're still going down. We're still going down. But reputation for value is improving. You know, maybe we're kind of okay. So let's stick with it. Run it on some more. I'll leave you to see whether you can actually fix that basic operating problem. But I've now turned this around. The meal served per restaurant is just beginning to turn around. I'm closing the gap with what head office want, and we're kind of nearly there, I think. What I just want you to concentrate on is we've kept expanding the business in spite of our operating problems because we believe we could fix the operating problems. Yeah, and we have, right? At least I have. You probably have as well. Okay. Now the question is, can we just keep going like this? Can we just keep going? Why not? Yeah, you've got a lot of restaurants opening here. Think about the United Kingdom. This is the English market basically we're talking about here. 320 mid-market restaurants with the same brand name, right? Does that sound like a lot to you? Can you think of any restaurant chains that have probably got 300 outlets? But that's not mid-market. That's way down here. Yeah, Pizza Hut. You know, even Pizza Hut's pretty much down here. This is a bit better than Pizza Hut. Okay, this is a lot of restaurants. We're basically running out of places to open restaurants now. We're running out. Now, the first question was, when we were in trouble before, were we in trouble because we'd oversaturated the market or because we'd actually run it badly? It looks like we were in trouble because we'd run it badly. Right? Can we keep going like this? No, we can't, because sooner or later we're going to hit the limits to what the market can take.